even so, they got lucky on Porzingis and like,
Absolutely.
give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe their scouting team does their like homework, but Dennis Smith is right there and Malik Monk's right there. Even if you're not looking to be good this season, you know at least Malik Monk is going to make it an exciting season and sell seats.
And Malik Monk can play both guard positions too. Yeah. So I think the funniest thing is they drafted him specifically for the triangle, and now they're not running the triangle.
But Malik Monk. We'll get to when he gets to the Hornets probably, but Malik Monk brings up the fact that New York Knicks passed on him every single interview he does. So, what are you going on the over/under here? 30 and a half wins.
I think they're going to win some shootouts. I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go over too. I'm cheering for the Knicks this season.
Yeah, I like.
They've had a lot of down years. It's time for the Knicks to get a slight. They're not going to make the playoffs.
No, they're not making the playoffs.
I think they can win 35 games. Well, I really do.
I like. I think they're going to have some winners, and I'm telling you, Hernan Gomez is going to break out and have a fantastic year this year. Just be ready. He's going to take advantage of Noah.
Both over for the Knicks. Next up, we got the Indiana Pacers with 30.5 wins.
All right, Indiana.
So this is an interesting team. They lose Paul George, which is a giant piece, obviously. They get back, in that trade, they get back Victor Oladipo, which is he's not a bad player. He's just always been in a really, really bad basketball situation.
Yes.
Because last year he was, stranded on Westbrook Island. Sit in the corner, wait until Westbrook gets tired and passes you the ball and you do something.
Oladipo is kind of a volume guy. He needs the ball in his hands,
and he's going to have the ball in his hands this
absolutely.
season, yeah.
And Darren Collison's actually going to Darren Collison is not the best player, not the best point guard in the world, but he's a good teammate. He moves the ball around, unlike Westbrook. And then when Oladipo was playing with Elfrid Payton's just trying to get assists, basically. That's what he does. He's a good defender, a good rebounder, but he just tries to get assists. And so he's going to he was feeding Vucevic and Tobias Harris.
And even when he was there, he's still getting 18 points a game, and he's still a young guy.
Oh, yeah, he's still his early 20s.
There's also Miles Turner on the team, who's going to be the guy.
Miles Turner is going to be a star
for the Indiana Pacers, and it's going to be Miles Turner with sidekick Victor Oladipo. Hopefully. And Indiana Pacers are always going to try to win, so...
That isn't a terrible roster.
It's not terrible, and I'm hoping for the resurrection of Lance Stevenson this year.
Yeah, they're gonna have a nice bench. I like Glenn Robinson off the bench. I think Corey Joseph is one of the best bench point guards in the league. Sabonis, if he can develop, take that next step, they could win 35 to 38 games, which
might be enough to
in the
win,
East.
It might be enough to make the playoffs. All right, so you're going over. I'm also going to go over for the Indiana Pacers. All right, both over. Moving on. We've got Orlando Magic, 33.5 wins. They don't really lose any big names. I mean, probably Jeff Green is probably the best player of all those players they're losing. They didn't really add anybody of note. They added Aaron Aflalo, Jonathan Simmons from San Antonio. Maurice Spates.
I like the Jonathan Isaac draft.
Isaac is a good draft pick, but he's still really, really small. He's got development to do. But basically the same team they had last year. When I'm looking at this roster, I don't know how they score points.
Vucevic?
I know, but he even had a bad year last year, so it's
it's really going to come down to how he does.
But even Vucevic, he's not he can't really space the floor as much as someone like...
No, he can't. But I think this is going to be a tough year. It's going to really depend on how Elfrid Payton. If Elfrid Payton can put the ball in the basketball hoop,
he had a really good end of the season last season.
He did. He ended the year very well. I'm not a big fan here of this team. I think it just feels like they got a bunch of young guys and say, hopefully 5 of them develop, and then we can get some bigger names and move forward. I mean, you've got Biyombo, who's crazy, but he's still 26, 27 years old, even though he's been in the league forever.
Yeah.
Fournier's 28, I believe. Gordon's still in his mid-20s. Hazonia, if he can develop. Peyton's young. Vucevic is still somewhat young. Obviously, Jonathan Isaac is a big one. Adrian Payne is still pretty young, even though he stayed 4 years at Michigan State. And then Jonathan Simmons is, I believe, in his mid-20s. So,
if this team breaks out this year, though, I think it's Aaron Gordon that's going to be the one.
It's going to have to be.
He's going to be... he's going to have to break out this season for the Atlanta Magic to do anything because he's really their only dynamic player that can do multiple things. And his multiple things aren't even like he can handle the ball a little bit and he can rebound.
He's an okay shooter. He's an okay shooter. So,
and what do you think? So, after this year, do you think it's time to call it quits on the Mario Hazonia?
This is his last. This is his last chance. He can dunk really well.
Yeah, he's like Rudy Fernandez.
Yes, yeah, that's basically what he is. I was a big believer coming out of Barcelona, but no, he cannot play right now. I mean, we'll see this upcoming season.
All right, where are you at? Over, under?
I'm actually going way under.
Way under?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go slight under. So, both under. Nice. All right, moving on. We got the Detroit Pistons. Everyone's darling last year everyone's hot pick for the playoffs at the beginning of the season was the Detroit Pistons.
Flop.
And did not work out for them. I think this is the last year for a lot of people in Detroit. I think this is the last year for Reggie, Reggie, Andre Drummond, and the coach here in Detroit. Mm-hmm. But they see. Here's the thing: they did add a lot of good basketball players. Or when I say a lot, they added like 2 basketball players that are good. Mm-hmm. Avery Bradley is nothing to sneeze at. He's a strict upgrade to Caldwell Pope.
Absolutely. He's better. He's Caldwell Pope and just better at everything.
Better at everything. He's not as long, but he's a better shooter. He's a better defender. He's better at handling the ball whenever inevitably Reggie Jackson gets hurt. So we'll see if Stanley Johnson can come out of the depths of which I don't know where he went last year.
Stanley Johnson is going to be his development is going to be key to the Pistons. They did draft Luke Kennard, which I like a lot. I was a big Luke Kennard fan.
He's the second player that I said was a good player.
Right. I'm honestly, I'm not buying. I think they'll be okay. I think the 38 win sounds about right, but I'm basically off the Andre Drummond train.
Apparently he's going to try to shoot jump shots this year.
Yeah,
so.
I do not believe that he is going to develop into this phantom star that everybody thinks he is. I mean, he gets a lot of rebounds, but
he's a poor man's Dwight Howard when Dwight Howard is going because he's not good defender.
They're better when he's off the floor.
Yeah, he's not a good defender. Dwight Howard at least was a good defender. Obviously, he couldn't shoot. But back when Dwight Howard was in Orlando, shooting was a big thing. Mm-hmm. But his team was also designed with him not being able to shoot.
Right. It was him on the floor, and then he had Turkoglu, Petrus, Nelson. They would spread the floor out, and he would just be in the middle. He'd get offensive boards and do putbacks, or he'd kick out for threes.
Exactly.
And Drummond can't pass. He's a really good rebounder, but he can't
really defend.
He can't really defend. I mean, he blocks about 2-3 shots a game, but that's
he doesn't
all
do
he
that.
does.
It's like a block.
Okay,
game,
maybe. Yeah, it's not what they're looking.
He's not an elite shot blocker. He's not an elite defender. He's okay. He's a big body,
right?
And that's about it.
He's there. Stanley Johnson, I thought was going to develop as an elite defender. It hasn't really happened. I know you said he was Jimmy Butler.
I thought he was going to just after his first year, I thought he was just going to skyrocket, and then that whole thing with LeBron happened, where he was like, "I'm not afraid of LeBron," and it just went all. It just never got better from there.
The Avery Bradley addition is that alone might give them the next 5 wins.
Yeah, exactly. Avery Bradley might make them 38 wins around there. Yeah. If they didn't get this Avery Bradley thing, they would be way under 38 wins. Like Avery Bradley,
if they didn't have Avery Bradley, I'd probably put him under 30.
But the problem is Avery Bradley. Reggie Jackson is not, I think, he's just not a good point guard. Reggie Jackson, I mean, he's got the stats, but a lot of people get the stats.
Right, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big Reggie Jackson believer. I think they might end up going with Avery Bradley.
I would like that team a lot better. Yeah.
And we can't forget about Ish Smith. Ish Smith has actually been pretty good. And they were
Concord.
Concord. They were better with Ish Smith on the floor than they were with Reggie Jackson. So I'm going to go slight under for the Pistons, just a little bit, not too much. Like I said, Avery Bradley probably gives them an extra 4 or 5 wins. Tobias Harris can still score, so
I want to go over for the Detroit Pistons because I've always been. I was one of the ones last year cheering them on, and the year even for a few years I've been cheering on the Pistons. Watch out if the Pistons are coming, but it's really really hard.
Dude, do it. Go over.
All right, I'm just going to go for it because I'm right at 38 wins. I'm just going to go take the over.
Attaboy.
So, Sean, my name is in there. Over. All right. Next up.
Philadelphia.
Okay, so before we even get into this, Philly fans, if there's any Philly fans listening right now, prepare yourselves. This over-under is so ridiculously high.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way you guys are winning 42 games. The over-under is set at 42.5 games. And you guys are going in the right direction, but you are not improving by 20 wins or whatever it was.
I would like to acknowledge that. Let's give Joel Embiid's agent a shout-out for getting the man $148 million to play 31 games of losing basketball.
Yeah. And Joel Embiid is, by the way, Philly fans, this is why you're not going to win 42 games. I'd be with you if everyone was there for the entire game and you could guarantee that the entire season.
Yeah.
But Joel Embiid has already said that he's not playing half the season.
Right. It's not going to happen. I love Joel Embiid. He's a fantastic player, but my goodness, the addition of Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz is not bringing you from up to 42.5 games.
Like I said, happen. If everyone's healthy, okay, I'll buy in. I'll be along for the ride, and they're going to be really, really fun to watch because I think Ben Simmons is amazing electrifying to watch. Can't shoot a lick, but
not even the free throw line. Went 3 for 10.
he can't shoot a lick, but his passing, man, that passing. Him and Teodosic, I think, are going to go head to head for flashiest passing this season and try to win the internet.
I think Rubio might try too with those lobs to Gobert, but we'll get to that.
We're gonna have some good passing this year. But yeah, there's no way you're winning 42 games. I'm sorry.
Nope.
You're going the right direction. You've got a lot of good young guys, but
yeah, no, I'm with you 100%.
And what do you think about the Fultz pick? Because now they're saying that he's adjusted his shot, like he changed his shot completely, and he didn't even have to do that because he was shooting 41% in college.
No, I know there's a lot of speculation around Fultz, especially given that he didn't play in the NCAA tournament, which usually hurts you when it comes to the draft, but it didn't hurt him. Obviously.
You can see it though, like when he's when he was playing in the summer league, he had like these flashes where you're like, oh.
Right. No, I can see it. I think Markelle Fultz is going to be a good player. He, honestly, in my opinion, he was probably the second or third best player in the draft. I would have taken Lonzo Ball and Josh Jackson over him. But I think that'll work well for them, especially because he can play both guard positions. They can run Ben Simmons at the point if they which they'll probably do for a lot. Even Joel Embiid can handle the ball a little bit. Dario Saric can handle the ball. So they have a lot of ball handlers. So I think Markelle Fultz...
They have a lot of ball handlers, a lot of good passing, and then... Actually, a lot of good shooting other than Ben Simmons.
Right.
Because if Joel Embiid was healthy, this is why you could win 42 games. Your lineup would be, in crunch time, I think you would put in...
You'd have Embiid, Saric,
Simmons.
Probably Redick will be on the floor.
Redick, for sure, in crunch time. And then, I don't even know if you put in Fultz in crunch time.
If you need defense, you can put Covington in.
Yeah, so you just run a big lineup, let Ben Simmons...
Right.
Facilitate and be the Rajon Rondo can't shoot guy. And then you just... Because Joel Embiid can shoot. If Joel Embiid was healthy, I would go over for the 76ers.
Yeah, he's going to... I would too. He'd have to play all...
He'd have to play
at least 80
games.
Or at least 80, yeah.
But he's already said that he's not going to play all 82 games this season. So
my other big thing is, Ben Simmons dominated Summer League and preseason, but if LeBron James is guarding him... If Jimmy Butler is guarding him,
dominating preseason
if Paul George is guarding him, what's going to happen? So I think the biggest piece in there that's going to be the biggest key is going to be Dario Saric, who I've liked ever since he was drafted.
Saric, yeah. I think him and Ben Simmons this year because they're going to be able to grow, which is the kind of a blessing because Ben Simmons, he's not a rookie, but he still has not played a single NBA minute, real NBA minute, and you expect to win 42 games with Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons taking a huge chunk of minutes. They've never played an NBA minute. In
their starting lineups played obviously 0 minutes together. Simmons, Fultz, Embiid have combined played 30 games. Saric has only played 50 to 60. And your big scorer, especially early in the season, is going to be JJ. I think they're going to win a lot of games late in the year, but I think they're going to struggle early on. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Ben Simmons has to go through his growing pains, and Ben Simmons and Dario Saric are going to be really, really fun to watch, though.
They are.
Darius Arch is
they're
really
gonna be a team to watch,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not going 42.
They're that summer league team,
Yes.
or not summer league team, the league pass team that you like. Oh,